Switch gears a little bit and go right to Grand Rapids Public Museum as we have Josh Freeney, who's the SVP of Digital there at the GRPM, to talk about a new software that you guys are implementing. It's called Public OS.
That's right.
What is it? Tell us all about it, and why should we be getting excited about it?
All right. Well, Public OS is kind of it's a safe and responsible digital platform that lets people in the community build 3D creative things with digital tools.
So this is an example right here.
Yeah, that's an example.
So,
cool. So that's a 3D representation of the museum right there on the river, and that's on top of a big 3D map. So believe it or not, we have a full 3D globe inside of Public OS that people can kind of build stuff on top of, almost like a video game.
Okay, so of course that's not the only thing that you can build, things in a map or things of that nature. First, we'll get to that, but first, why is this platform even here? Like, why did we come up with it? What is it, and why did we, have an idea for it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've been working for the last 20 years getting accessible technologies into classrooms because, people don't know this, but there's a secret around here. We have some of the most talented young digital creators in the world here.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people outsource their solutions here. And so, with the goal of creating a talent pipeline, some young people in the region actually made these tools, and then the Grand Rapids Public Museum had this program called Digital Me, which has been going on for the last 2 decades, and that was to scan every single object in the collection, right?
Wow.
And that's going to take a long time to finish. They're a long way into it, and what's kind of neat about that is now we can use those objects in 3D, right? So that people can kind of build their own stuff.
That's pretty cool. So I guess let's dive into the software. How does it work? If I want to come to the library, the public museum.
Works at the libraries too.
It works at the libraries too. If I want to come into the public museum and use this, or I want to start down this journey of the 3D modeling world, how does that work? Tell us.
Yeah, absolutely.
What it's used for.
So today what I want to start with is we start with safety, right? So on a platform like this, since it's an online platform, you really want to make sure that you get parental or guardian approval, right? And so one of the things we're here to talk about today is that Public OS is the first platform of its kind in the nation to be awarded this Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, called COPPA, certification by FTC-approved partner Privo. And because of that, we have a system where the only way for young people to get access to the platform is to work with their parents or guardians. So step one is
to have parent permission.
You got to have parental permission, right? And the website that you can use to get to this is called ab1.bot, and it's actually like a small little AI character that helps you build some of these 3D exhibits. But in order to use that, you have to sign up with your parents, so you've got to use their real email address, because it's going to go to them, and they're going to have to prove that they're an adult. And so, that's kind of step one. The easiest way to do it, though, is to come down for like one of our summer camps. So we have these amazing digital Camp Curious programs that we do during the summer. There's all sorts of different types of camps. But specifically, if you want an easy way to do it, sign up for the camps on our website, and you can come down and get one of our practice permits and then be able to use the platform.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So anybody can basically use this, and anybody can be a 3D digital creator, basically.
That's right. So maybe when we were younger, we would build something like a shoebox diorama, or we would grab things with construction paper, maybe some modeling clay. Well, now a lot of the young people in the area and all of us have devices, and so we can do some of that same activity, but in a digital way.
Okay, and so this all plays into digital literacy.
100%.
I mean, it's huge right now. Of course, digital is the way of the future in many cases. How does this play into that? How can our young folks here in Grand Rapids, West Michigan, take advantage of this and really leverage that into a career in the future, or maybe something down the line for them?
That's a really great question, because I think digital skills are really, really important.
Sure.
And one of the interesting things about digital is it changes so fast, right? And so a lot of the cool parts of this platform is that we can keep up with those changes so that we're constantly keeping people ready for what skills they might need soon.
Yeah.
And so, what I would say with this platform is the unique thing about it is it works on these Chromebooks, right? And so, you can use this in schools, you can use this at home, but you can also use it on mobile devices. And then I brought something else in too, which is, Maybe you've seen some of these kind of around the holidays. These are starting to come out.
What are these little VR
Yeah.
headsets
Yeah.
like this? So this is the Meta one, right?
It is the Meta one,
Yeah.
and these are about the same cost as the Chromebooks now. And so one of the most interesting things about this is anything that you build on the Chromebooks actually works on the headsets too. So any of your creations you can actually step right inside of.
That's incredible.
That's so
Just
cool.
like going to a museum, right? And so if you think about it, we are moving from like a shoebox diorama where we would peek down in there. But if they make something like that, like a scale model, then they can literally step right inside of it.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you were talking about digitizing some of the creations inside of the museum.
Oh, totally.
You can just walk right into it with something like this, and
right.
it's all built on this platform, Public OS. So I know you brought an example, and we've been looking at this turtle here. So go
Absolutely.
ahead and turn it toward camera 12 right here and show us kind of what we're looking at. I've got the same thing mirrored on this computer, so I'm going to react in real time. So what is this?
Absolutely. So number one, I want to call out that the GRPM collection website is available and has all the objects that we have digitized on there. So what we're looking at right here is this is actually the object on the GRPM collection website. But if you notice, this isn't a picture, it's actually interactive and it's in 3D, right?
Turn it around, yeah.
There we go. Oh, got a
Here,
little
I'll
bit of
flip
glare
it there.
there.
You got
I got
flip
it.
it right there.
All right, and then obviously we can take that into one of our environments, right? So this is something that 2 years ago a student made in a summer camp. This is like one of those
Wow.
shoebox dioramas, right? And you can see that I can actually spin
Wow.
and zoom in. And believe it or not, they scanned these artifacts themselves with a cell phone.
Wow.
Really?
It's crazy, right? And then they drug it right in there, almost like a 3D Google Doc.
Well, so
Yeah.
these are some of the digital skills that, I mean, young people are learning today. I mean, for us, like when we were in school, like shop class might have been like the big interactive
Totally.
class that you were in. This is kind of along that same vein, but really more geared toward our current future.
Well, absolutely. And that's where, from a digital literacy standpoint, I always tell people literacy is not just reading, it's
Yeah.
reading and writing, right? And with digital, a lot of times we're more being consumers, right? Other people are making apps or content for us. But obviously, this is an age where everyone's getting involved in becoming a producer of digital content. So
Yeah.
when we say digital literacy, we really mean that it's authoring and creating as well as consuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, it's really, really interesting, especially like if you can't get out to the museum at all, you could just hop on your little VR headset like this.
Absolutely.
And go
So
into it.
cool.
But it's built with this platform. I think that's so awesome.
Oh, absolutely. How long would you say it would take to learn how to put some of these into effect, to make some of these shoebox dioramas just in a digital way?
I used to think that it was a couple months. And
Yeah.
then since I've started doing the summer camps over the last few years, people get in, especially young people, they get up and moving in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're very used to it, right? Because they play other types of games like Minecraft or things like that. And it's very similar to that, other than we actually expose the code so they can actually change the experience while they're doing it.
Wow, that's very interesting, especially, like I said, I've said it several times during this interview. I mean, the way that we learn is changing, and this is just another way that those students can learn. Speaking of learning, making it easier for everybody to have access to this. I mean, do you find that this is a very equitable platform for everybody, of all different backgrounds and things like that?
I really appreciate you saying that, because one of the coolest things about this museum is the commitment to accessibility, right? It's 170 years old. Actually, the old museum campus, not the Riverside one that we're at right now, it even didn't have a grand staircase so that
Yeah.
people could roll right in off the street, right? So accessibility is kind of like in our bones. And on this platform, we have spent a very, very long time over the last few years making sure that it works on Chromebooks and works on all the devices that people already have access to.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's go back to the safety certifications that you were mentioning. This is the first platform to get a, is it COPA, COPPA?
Either way.
Okay, all right, certified. I think you touched on it a little bit, but I want to make sure that parents watching at this point is really driven home for them.
Absolutely.
Why is that important for them?
Well, so it's really important for any online platform, right? And because when you're in an online platform, your data is potentially being stored somewhere, right? So in the case of this platform, anything that's created is held on the museum's computers, right? And there's actually 3 checkboxes that parents can use. The first checkbox allows the student or the learner to use the platform. Number 2, they're allowed to share things with other people. So you wouldn't want to enable that unless you've had those conversations in your home and you know kind of what that means. And then number 3 is you can actually turn on advanced features, right?
Okay.
And some of those advanced features are going to be coming out over this next year. Things like AI, things like using the headset. and that allows people to kind of like decide how much access they want to let their family have.
It really allows, or really puts the ball back in the court of the parents when it comes to control of,
Oh yeah,
you
those
know,
guardians
what they
are
get
very
to.
important.
Absolutely, it is, and especially when you're talking about a public museum and a platform that not many people know about. It's nice to know that there's a safeguard there. Talk about the European privacy certifications too, because I understand that if this goes through, this could help make the platform even better.
Well, the way that we think about it at the museum is we're always looking pretty far out, right? You know, in 170 years, you can imagine we have a lot of binders for things, right?
Yeah.
We know how to do things and do it well. And so one of the ways that we do things well is we look to the future.
Okay.
So whenever we make something, we're not thinking, hey, this needs to last a year. It needs to last 30 years, 300 years. And so we look at some of those new advanced kind of rules that are coming out of different parts of the globe, and we start targeting those early to make sure that we're ahead of the curve on where things can be most safe and we can be the most responsible.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense to try to put this as international, get as many people involved as possible. What are the different age ranges that you would say have so far been able to play with this type of software?
Well, I think if you really look at it, it works for all ages. And you know, I don't know how long it's been since you've been to the old museum campus, but there's this really great stone that's there that says "Knowledge for All." And that's the other thing that we really like about this is this is for lifelong learners of all ages. I think you'll find that if you drop it to some middle schoolers, they just sprint. They get it. But I have seen people in their 80s build their first app and step into it in VR. I have seen people as young as first grade actually start building things and with some simple blocks and stacking.
That's really cool that really anybody can pick this up and just run with it after maybe a crash course, or maybe you don't really need a crash course. You just kind of jump right into it.
100%. Actually, I could even teach you how to make something really quick if you'd like to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you know how to code though? I don't want to.
Oh, I don't. No, I don't.
All right, well, there we go. All right, so
We're going to learn today.
So you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing
All
on
right.
the screen here, and I'm just going to hold this. So right there, this little spinning character, it looks like a little cube. That's
Yep.
AB1, stands for Artifact Builder 1.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is building digital artifacts. And so right here on the screen, I'm going to show you a trick, and I'm going to just drag the little arm out here. You don't
Okay.
need to do anything yet. And you see I get this Ask AB1.
Yep.
So if I ask AB1 to, let's say, make me a bot that when I click it, it says, let me see here, when I click it, it says, hello, West Michigan. How about that?
Okay.
Perfect.
Something we're very familiar with doing
Yeah.
in the mornings.
All right. Fix my little typos here. What color do you want the bot to be?
Let's do red.
I like red. Make me a red bot that when I click it says, hello, West Michigan. All right, so it's going to be thinking about that, and it's actually using one of those advanced features that we
Whoa.
talked
I
about.
see the red.
And it
All right.
popped up on my screen too.
All right,
Yeah.
well, go ahead and test it. So go ahead and click that bot. What do you see?
Hello, West Michigan.
Wow.
All right, so that's pretty easy to make a bot when we
Yeah.
ask AI to do it, right? And that's technically our first application. But now, have you ever used a spreadsheet before?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so if I go right here and I drag out from that bot,
Okay.
and then I can open the sheet portal, right? You'll see that it looks just like a spreadsheet. So
Yep.
that right there is actually the little character we made. So if I click in here and it says hello West Michigan, I'm gonna go like this and just kind of backspace that out.
Oh, wow.
Why
So-
don't you make that say hello to someone else that
All
you'd
right.
like?
Hello, Amber Twardy.
All right. Now, Amber, do you want to maybe?
I hit enter. I
That's
don't
okay.
know.
That's okay. We'll
Okay.
give it a try. Bugs are
Okay.
part of the process, right?
Okay.
All right. So you
the
just
fun
coded
part.
something. Let's see. Go ahead and click the red block and
If I
see what
click
happens.
it says, hello, Amber Twardy.
Oh,
Congratulations,
see?
you just
We've
made your
coded.
first app.
And see, what we manipulated there too, I want to show you, was this little box right here. And you can faintly see it, but this is where I kind of was typing in hello, Amber Twardy. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
As you look toward the future for this application,
Yep.
What would you say are your goals? What are you looking to do with this? Obviously looking to expand it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think Digital Me being this 20-year-old initiative, we're going to keep digitizing more objects, right? And we're going to keep working to make museum, collections as well as programs more accessible. With this platform, though, you could almost think of this like a 100-year project where we want everyone in the community to help us build ways for people to experience that information. You could almost think of it like maybe something like SimCity, where we're we're building a scale model of what we think the future could look like.
Yeah.
That's why we have this big cool planet that they can program on.
That's pretty cool. All right, Josh, we do have to leave it there. We really appreciate the in-studio demo and, of course, all the information. I'll be over to the Public Museum to check that out.
Oh, absolutely. This is
By
so
the
cool.
way, it's available there, and, of course, we'll have more details for you on our website, too.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you. We'll be back after a quick break.